Hello ladies and gentlemen, Zackary here bringing you another Minecraft World War II vehicle tutorial. In this tutorial we'll be going ahead and building the Tank AA 20mm quad Skink. The Skink was a Canadian self-propelled anti-aircraft gun developed in the 1943 to 1944 in response to a requirement from the 1st Canadian Army. Due to a lack of threat from the German Luftwaffe, the Skink was cancelled in 1944 after only 3 were built. The development of a fully enclosed quadruple 20mm mounting on the chassis of the Grizzly tank, Canadian-built M4A1 Sherman tank, was approved by the Canadian Army Technical Development Board as Project 47 in March of 1943. In keeping with the tradition of giving Canadian armored fighting vehicles animal names, the proposed tank was named after the Skink, Ontario's only lizard. Obviously, the project was cancelled due to basically Allied air superiority during the course of 1944 and onward, and the Skink only saw 3 in total being built. So kind of a disappointing disappointment. This was definitely a really cool tank, and the fact it was a fully enclosed turret 20mm gun that actually had pretty decent traverse and pretty decent elevation and all that stuff to it for being a fully enclosed type gun. Kind of disappointing, but really cool vehicle nonetheless, and it's actually our first ever Canadian World War II vehicle, so that's also really cool. Happy to finally get that, get the Canadians into our World War II action. Anyways, let's go ahead and kind of take a look at the vehicle, see exactly where we're going ahead and building here, and we'll go ahead and basically move on to that. So this is built on the chassis here of the M4A1 Sherman tank. It is a little bit modified as there was a Canadian design that they were using, the Grizzly. But basically we have the front up here, nothing too fancy with it, just obviously the co-driver and driver kind of slots there. We get to the turret here, which is very kind of reminiscent of the Sherman turret. It's like they took the Sherman turret and just slightly modified bits and pieces of it, especially the front here, to kind of create the space for the gun. So the turret is pretty similar in shape-wise, and you'll definitely see it if you do look at an actual picture of it. But we have obviously the quad 20mm guns there, and obviously the back here is pretty much keeping up standard with our M4A1 Sherman chassis design. Overall, really nice looking build, and is again going to make an awesome addition to any of your World War II type scenarios where maybe the Commonwealth or stuff like that are fighting and stuff like that. Even though only 3 of these were built and really didn't see combat, it's still a cool vehicle you can add to your worlds. Anyways, let's go and move into the tutorial by beginning with our first layers, layers 0 and 1. Alright guys, so moving into our first layers, we'll go ahead and start with layers 0 and 1. One thing I want to mention real quick is that I am kind of coming down with a cold, so if I do sound a little weird, or if I do have some sniffles here in between, just know that that's the reason why. So anyways, let's go ahead and get started with this. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to place down an air brick slab, followed by an air brick top slab coming off of it. We then want to place down a row of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. An air brick full blocks here in the ground. Again, that's 8. We're going to go ahead and place down an air brick slab and then an air brick top slab coming off of it, like so. Once that's done there, we're going to go ahead and then go to our sides here, and we will need to place down a dark oak with top slab here, so just like this, and then we're going to place down a grindstone coming off the sides here of this top slab like that. After that's complete there, we're going to go ahead and then place down a grindstone here on the side, and then a grindstone coming off of it like that, and then we're going to go ahead and place down our top slab right here, and a grindstone to both sides of the top slab, just like that for our road wheels. We're going to go to the sides here of these grindstones. We're going to place down iron frames, and in those iron frames we're going to place down green terracotta blocks all the way along the side there, just like that. And we're also going to take our dark oak signs, and we're going to place down dark oak signs along the sides here of the grindstones as well. So just like this. I'm just going to go all the way down the side here to go and create the road wheels here for the tank. After that's done, we're going to then take our dark oak top slabs. We're going to place down 1, 2, 3 coming off this grindstone here, and we want to go and then place down a dark oak fence gate here in the middle, open up toward that slab, followed by a zombie head here coming off this air brick slab there. And then we're going to go ahead and also have a air brick slab on this side, and a top slab coming off of it, and again same thing here, a zombie head like that on that side there for the front. And then for the back here, we're going to go to the air brick slab here. We're going to place down a row of 3 over like so, and then coming off the 3 slabs here. We're going to place down dark oak fence gates there to both sides there, a space of 1 in the middle. We then want to place down another brick slab here to both sides like this. And we're going to go basically copy the track design we did over on the other side, just over here to this side. So I'm going to go ahead and build this a little bit faster, as I already kind of covered in detail how to do it. So again, if I do go too fast for you guys, just note that this is the exact same thing we did on the other side there. So if you need to, just refer to what we did over there, and you'll be pretty much good to go for that. We're just going to place down our grindstones here for our road wheels, item frames, and our green terracotta blocks on the side here, dark oak sides, and all the way along the side, like so, and like that. So once we have that all done, that is going to basically be our tracks on the sides there, and then in the middle space here, we can just take our dark oak top slabs and fill in the space here in the middle, going all the way like this, until we connect to the air row dark oak slabs like that to create the base here. And so basically we should get something that looks like this here for the base here for layer number 1. And with that, that's going to complete layer 01. Let's move on to layer 2. Alright guys, moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 2. For layer 2 to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to place down a dark oak stair on top of these 2 dark oak, or nether brick top slabs, sorry. We then want to go and place down a green terracotta block that goes back from those 2 stairs. And the space in between here, we're going to place down a dark oak stair like this to both sides on the green terracotta blocks, and then a dark oak stair there in the middle to create 2 corner stairs. We then want to go to the sides here of these 2 stairs here and place down a zombie head on both sides on the inside here, an item frame on this corner stair to the right side, and a yellow stained glass pane in that item frame, just like that. Once that's done, we're going to then place down a dark oak up down stair to both sides and a row 3 of green terracotta across the middle space like that. We also want to place down a dark oak sign on the side of that green terracotta block and dark oak up down stair. Same thing over here on this side as well. Once we have that done, we're going to place down an anvil to both sides. After that anvil, we're going to place down a nether brick top slab, again to both sides. We're going to place down a dark oak up down stair, followed by a second stair coming off of it, a nether brick top slab, anvil, nether brick top slab, and then a green terracotta block, followed by a second green terracotta block, and then a dark oak stairs. And we're going to go and basically repeat the same thing over here to the air side. So 2 dark oak up down stairs, nether brick top slab, anvil, nether brick top slab, 2 green terracotta blocks, and a dark oak stair just like that. And we want to go to the sides here. We're going to go and place down a row of dark oak signs across the green terracotta blocks, the nether brick slabs, the anvils, dark oak up down stairs, all the way like this, connecting all the way up here to the front. And on the nether brick slabs here, we're going to go and place down item frames, and in those item frames we're going to place down green terracotta blocks, just like that. And it's going to be the same thing over here on this side as well. So we're just going to go and repeat the same process over here. Again, pretty simple. And then we're going to have our item frames again on all of our nether brick slabs. And then green terracotta blocks in the item frames, just like that. After that's all finished, we're going to then go to the back here. We're going to go ahead and place down a spruce wood plank, which is going to go ahead and go on top of this dark oak wood block there in the middle, green terracotta block to both sides, and we want to go ahead and then place down a tripwire hook coming off the spruce wood plank there, and a zombie head like this to both sides, like so. And also, if you do want to include this little back rack here for extra cargo and stuff, we're going to place down a row 3 of oak wood trapdoors. If you do not want to include this rack, you're just going to go ahead and leave that space open, none of those trapdoors. Last thing we need to do for this layer is to go and fill in the middle space here, so we can go and fill this all in with rows of 3 green terracotta to close this whole space off. And once we have that all done, that's going to wrap up layer number 2 here for the build. Here's what it should look like from up above. And with that, that's it for layer 2. Let's move on to layer number 3. Alright guys, moving on to our next layer, we'll be moving on to layer number 3. For layer 3 to go and get started with here, we're going to place down a dark oak stair here in the middle, followed by a green shulker box on its side, like so, and a end rod coming off the green shulker box like that. We then want to place down a green terracotta block over here to the left side, dark oak sign coming off the side of the block, and a dark oak stair here to both sides like so. Coming off the dark oak stairs, we're going to place down item frames, followed by snowballs in the item frames, and then we want to place down a dark oak fence gate coming off the dark oak stairs like that. After that's finished, we're going to take our green terracotta, we're going to place down a row of 5 of green terracotta across, and we're going to go and repeat this 4 more times. So we have 1, 2, 3, and 4, and in total 5 rows of 5 of green terracotta. When we get to this section here, we're going to place down a dark oak stair like this to both sides, and then going back from the stair, we're going to place down 1, 2, 3, stairs back, and same thing over here, 1, 2, 3, so the stair turns into a core stair, and then we have 3 normal stairs. On the sides of the first stair here, and the last stair, on the end here, we're going to place down dark oak signs, wrapping around the stair. So same thing right over here, in this corner stair, and then this one right here. So once we get to this point, we're going to place down an item frame on the sides of these 2 stairs, and in the item frame, we're going to place down a red stained glass block, just like that. Once we have that done, we're going to place down a mossy cobblestone wall on both sides of these stairs, and a dark oak and down stair there in the middle. We can then fill in the space here behind this, or between these stairs here, with basically 3 rows of 3 of green terracotta to close that space off. And if you do want to include this rack, and if you're building it, we're going to place down 2 spruce wood logs on top of those 2 trapdoors. We're going to then place down a trapdoor here, open up the side, trapdoor here like that. And we want to go ahead and place down a row of 2 of tripwire hooks. And just so we don't have to worry about it later, we can go and place down 2 spruce wood trapdoors on top of those 2 spruce wood wood pieces. And that right there is going to basically wrap up what we have here for layer number 3. Again, pretty simple stuff. And with that, let's move on to layer number 4. Alright guys, moving on to our next layer, we have layer number 4. For layer 4, to get started with here, we're going to place down a zombie head on top of these 2 blocks up here in the front. Going back from those zombie heads, we're going to place down a spruce wood slab back like so. Dark oak wood stair here in the middle, and then we're going to place down a zombie head here in the corners at about a slight angle. You don't want a necessary 45, but you want it just a very slight one, just like that. After that's done, we're going to place down a row of 3 of green terracotta behind it, followed by a dark oak wood slab, going back from the head on both sides. We're going to then place down another row of 3 of green terracotta across, followed by a dark oak wood stair to both sides. And then we're going to place down again another row of 3 of green terracotta across, a dark oak corner stair to both sides, and then coming off the sides of the corner stair, we're going to place down a dark oak sign to both sides, like so. We're going to go ahead and place down a row of 3 of dark oak stairs across the middle section here, followed by a zombie head, like this to both sides. And we're going to then place down a row of 3 of spruce wood slabs across here, dark oak signs to both sides here. And then we're going to place down an item frame on this corner stair, green terracotta block in it, same thing over here as well, just like that. And once that's done, we're going to then take our daylight detectors, place down a row of 3 across here, and we can also change these green terracotta blocks right here in for spruce wood planks actually. And on top of those spruce wood planks here, we're going to place down stone buns on the 2 outside ones, and then very simply taking green carpet, we're going to place down a row of 3 of green carpet across the mossy cobblestone wall and dark oak wood upstairs stair on the back there. And that right there is going to wrap up what we have here for layer number 4 for the build. With that, we're going to move into our final layers here, which are going to consist of layers 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. We're going to basically put the rest of the turret on and all that fun stuff. So with that, let's move into our final layers 5 through 9. Alright guys, moving into our final layers, we have layers 5 through 9. For these layers to go ahead and get started with here, we're going to go to the front. We're going to place down a green shulker box on the side like so, with a tripwire hook coming off the shulker box like that. We want to go ahead and go to both sides of the shulker box. We're going to place down a dark oak stair, followed by a dark oak fence gate coming off of it, and an end rod coming off those fence gates like so. We then want to go ahead and go back from this by placing down a row of 3 of green terracotta blocks across, followed by a second row of 3, and then on both sides of those rows of 3, we're going to place down mossy cobblestone walls like so. Across the back here, we're going to place down a row of 3 of green terracotta with a tripwire hook to both sides of that row of 3. Continuing on, we're going to place down a zombie head, which is going to go and go on top of this green shulker box here. After that, we're going to take our daylight detectors. We're going to place down a row of 3 of daylight detectors, dark oak and fence gate here to both sides, and have them closed like so. And also end rods coming off those fence gates like that. We then want to go to the top here. We're going to place down a dark oak slab in the middle, followed by a spruce wood slab to both sides of those slabs, and then a dark oak wood trapdoor, which is going to go ahead and come off this dark oak slab. To both sides of that trapdoor, we're going to place down a dark oak fence post, and then going up from it, we're going to take our iron bars. We're going to place down an iron bar that goes up from those fence posts, then one that goes up and back, one, and then an iron bar on top of those iron bars like that on both sides. And once you have that all complete there, that is going to wrap up my tutorial here for the Tank AA 20mm quad skink. Hope you guys do enjoy this tutorial and are able to put it to good use. If you guys do use this design, or do just you guys give me proper credit for it, this being things from the side of the build, link to my channel or this video if there's such great social media sites. As long as you guys give me proper credit for the build, your future for a project you guys are working on, overall enjoy the build, have fun with it, and all that fun stuff. And all that. Anyways, that's going to do it for this tutorial. Thank you guys all so much for watching. As always, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This has been DerekFrostWestbrook, and I'll see you guys next time.